Hello and welcome to Tarot with Tanya. This is 7 cards for 7 days, and we are beginning with Monday, 9/11, strange day here in the US. And we finish on the 19th, which is a Sunday, and we are starting the week with the moon in Leo, that very passionate, creative, heart-centered kind of moon, and then ending with the moon in Libra, about balance, fairness, and so forth, next weekend. And during the week we have a few things going on. One of the main ones is that there's a new moon on Thursday, the 14th, in Virgo, which is really good time to reset on diet, maybe take a mini fast, clean out a closet. Virgo likes to organize, get things in good shape, so you might want to channel some of that energy, get started on a new project, especially something practical and earthy. And then we also have Mercury turning direct, which is awesome, and that's on Friday the 15th. Still could be a little wonky. It goes through a shadow period, so what that means is that it has to return, at least from our perception, to the place where it first turned retrograde. So it could be a few weeks of that kind of winding down, but all those tech and communication issues should get much better. We also have Venus moving into Libra this week, and it tends to like that place. Both are about beauty and relationship and so forth. And then we do have Venus square Jupiter on Saturday, next Saturday the 16th. So whenever there's a square, it's kind of like these energies are sort of grinding at each other. It's oppositions, to me, in some ways are easier. You kind of know what's coming at you, but the squares can feel sneaky. And with this one, the advice is to watch out for overindulgence, to not spill secrets, things like that. You know, and maybe use it to, I don't know, work on your beautification routine, or, you know, make your home more lovely or something like that. And, you know, knowing that there might be a tendency to overdo things. All right, so we'll go into the reading, and this time I am using the Golden Dawn Tarot, and then we'll finish with the Crystal Angel card. As always, take what resonates for you, leave the rest behind. No reader, no psychic is 100% accurate, and then this is just a general reading. Thank you all for being here too. I really, really, really appreciate that. And please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. So as a general theme for the week, what I'm seeing in the cards is that there is a letting go and a renewal. We actually begin with the end of a major cycle, and then the very next day we start on something new. And that seems to be requiring another level of letting go of things, maybe letting go of control. Had an interesting conversation about that with a new friend last night. It's a tough one for humans, because it's kind of programmed into us that we need to be controlling things to be all right. Okay, so we have just one major for the week, and that is the Universe. So this is really the ultimate card in the deck in many ways, because it's the end of the majors, it's the end of that archetypal journey. So that's why I was saying, you know, we're coming to some place where a major cycle is ending. And, you know, that could be different for everybody. So just look at your own life and see what that might be. It doesn't have to be a bad thing at all. As a matter of fact, it can be a wonderful thing. Maybe a great sense of accomplishment, a nice reflection back, over what has occurred for you, maybe in the last year, or whatever you feel might be a cycle that you can relate to in terms of that card. So again, that kind of letting go. It's that spiraling of the universe that's always happening. And, if we're paying attention and just trying to do our best, it doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. We're humans. But we're rising on that spiral. So I'll show you again a little bit. You might see it. It's actually in the sort of veil that she wears. And it's a very common symbol associated with this card. We roll into into Tuesday with the Ace of Cups. And here is that renewal. And this would be an emotional one. I often associate it with self-love. And that is another huge human challenge. Can we truly love ourselves? I think most of the time we're born that way, but just part of the human condition is, oh, you should be this, you should be that. And we get more and more distant from our own hearts, from our own connection to source, whatever you want to call it, and can fall out of love with ourselves and become very self-critical. So in this card, it is that kind of renewal that sort of comes. I see that hand as a hand of source, of unlimited resources of love and energy, and then it goes into the chalice, and then it just pours out. So it's definitely love, and I think in particular self-love and connecting with an energy source that feels right for you. By Wednesday, we're switching directions, and it's a feminine card, which I should have said also about the ace, because when you're talking about cups, it's water, of course, and that's considered a feminine element, just like earth or pentacles is considered a feminine. Though here you do have a masculine aspect of that in the prince. And we see that he has a chariot. It is being pulled by a bull, because the bull is very earthy. It represents Taurus in the zodiac. And he is quiet, grounded, whereas even the bull, I'll show you one more time, across the chest there. And, has the scepters of power. And that there's a globe sitting on top of that, the scepter. And that just shows how earthy and connected. So Wednesday can be a good day to get practical things done, make a plan, maybe don't expect to go too fast. It's really about being thorough and slow. And another kind of quirky association with this card is a sense of humor. So try to have one, or maybe somebody will come into your life, or someone will kind of fulfill that archetypal role of the Prince of Pentacles on Wednesday. Thursday, we move back to the cups. And this time we have the 8. And if you can see that on the bottom, it does say abandoned success. Here, I think that is symbolized by the way the water is only touching 4 cups, and the other 4, the 3 on top, the 1 on the bottom, do not have that flow. And often with this card, you will see someone walking away from like a beach scene or a lake or something like that. You might see kicked over cups. I like that in this card, the cups are all still standing. It's just that the flow is cut off, and that can be very deliberate. One more little peek at this. I'll try to bring it really close. There's a hand here also, a kind of hand of spirit, God, source. Kind of holding this all up. So that to me seems like a deliberate choice to walk away from something. It could be that, again, it's not in our control, whatever that might be, that makes us want to abandon something. It can also be more like, I have achieved success in this area. I've done what I wanted to do. It doesn't matter what other people might think about that, but how you feel about it. And then it's just time to move to something else. You just need to let it go. Maybe it becomes one of those accomplishments that was covered under the universe card, 21 of the majors, the last card of the whole deck. Something like that, or I don't know, it could be a more emotional kind of project or a creative, but just time to let it go. And the eights are all connected to the strength card. And it can be a strength to know when to let go as well. That's what I was trying to get at. Not a defeat, not a lack of success or so forth, but just something you've decided to walk away from. When we get to Friday, I feel like that energy becomes rewarded because you get another ace. So we have two of those. So that's where those new starts are very strong this week. And this one is in the energy realm because it's wands. So Ace of Wands, fiery, instinctual, creative, the kind of thing that can happen sometimes when we let go of any emotional heaviness that could be associated with that Eight of Cups on Thursday. So look for a kind of renewal of energy on Friday. And I just have to mention this hand keeps coming up. There's that hand, but what's really fun about it in this one is that it is green, and that is the color of the heart chakra. And it's also rooting us. You got this red expression. Red is connected to the root chakra, but that green heart energy helps stabilize it and send it in the directions that we want. I actually have a little party to go to tonight, so I feel like that is auspicious. I wish you a good celebration or event as well. And then on Saturday, we come into the only sword card of the week. So we have 2 wands, 2 cups, and then just 1 pentacle and 1 sword. So all the elements are represented, and just more emphasis on some of them than others. And with this one, you'll see, maybe you can see at the bottom, it says ruin. I think it's just a beautifully designed card. I love the shapes, the colors, and it doesn't feel to me like ruin when I look at it. It's got that echo of the 2 of Swords, which is about choices. Decisions needed to be made, and all of these are set up in pairs, and of course this pair at the bottom is the dominant visual there. So what is in ruins and can be let go of, can be abandoned. I mean, going back to our Thursday and abandoned success. So we have 2 of those kinds of cards this week, and then the other 2 of new starts. So finishing big cycle, starting some new things after letting go of some old energies. So sometimes on that 10 of Swords, you'll see someone sort of at the brink of something, maybe standing on a cliff edge, something like that. That's the symbolism there. That, all right, time to jump off. And of course, not to death. It's meant metaphorically, but to let go of something that probably isn't working anymore, that has outlasted its usefulness, that feels like a drag now on the energy. Just let it go. And know in your faith and your heart and your belief in the benevolence of the universe that something better will fill that void. And I think we get a great affirmation about that, because by the time we get to Sunday, we have victory. So we're back to the wands. That's that second wand card I mentioned. And the green hands again. So you've got the red and the green, the energy, the fiery red chakra connected to Aries kind of energy, also to the other fire signs. And then those wonderful green hands in this one, spirit hands, moving things, sparking, making this victory happen. So be on the lookout for things to let go of, things to celebrate in terms of cycles, ending, accomplishments. So what can be sorted out, let go of, and that Virgo moon could be very helpful with that this week as well, that new moon energy. And then also I think, there'll be some happiness, hopefully for most people, with Venus moving into Libra as well, and then our Mercury going direct should help also. So for our Crystal Angel card, I don't think in all the years that I've had these cards that I've ever drawn this one. So that's interesting to me right away. And it's Charot or Charoite. I'm not totally sure how to pronounce that. It's about spiritual protection. And this is what our little booklet says. This card is reassurance that you are protected and that your prayers have been heard and answered. Perhaps you have been feeling vulnerable lately or have been attacked verbally, psychically, or even physically. It appears that someone is challenging you, and Spirit and your guardian angels want you to know that they are watching over you and your loved ones. This is a sign that some emotional or physical issues could be stemming from psychic attack in which someone is sending anger or jealous energy your way. Praying to Source, Spirit, whatever you believe in, and perhaps calling upon Archangel Michael can help clear that energy and shield you. So visualize yourself in a protective bubble of royal purple light, which is God's divine radiance that only, there's that purple, that only allows love to enter and exit your sphere. This purple light will bounce away negative energy and transmute it into healing love for both you and the attacker. So instead of retaliating against or fearing whoever sent negativity your way, you help bring healing love to the world. So by protecting yourself and staying in your grace, you add to the good energy. And I can't help but say that I think that there's a lot of that kind of psychic energy being thrown around out in our political sphere, especially right now. And it is hard on people, and we may not think, oh, I'm not involved, or that doesn't affect me. I think it affects us all at some level. So staying clear about that and protecting ourselves with that royal purple light, or perhaps getting some protective stones, could be very helpful. Wishing you a great week, beloveds. Please let me know again if there's anything that you would like for me to focus on more clearly, whatever. And please consider giving this a like, and also sharing, subscribing if you haven't already. And if you're interested in a personal reading, there'll be information below. And again, a beautiful week for you all.